All right. Test 1, 2. Testing my microphone. Let's try turning it up just a tad. Ooh, too much. That looks pretty good right there. All right, what's up, SimPilot? How's it going, man? Wait for some people to join here. I think it's a little bit too hot there. Can you guys hear me okay? Am I too loud, too quiet? Let me know. I think I can turn it up on my... Yeah, there we go. Let's turn that. That should be about right. Does that sound good to you guys? Too hot, too cold? Because I can't hear myself. I can't check myself. This glare is pretty bad. Let's try doing this. Sounds good? All right. Is that better? Maybe that's a little better. I just feel like there's a glare. Whatever. Whatever. It has been a very long week for me. I have been really busy with work. I have so much so I'm already at 44 hours for this week. 45 hours for this week. And it's Thursday. So you can imagine how busy it's been. So what I'm doing is I'm planning for my flight. I'm flying tomorrow morning. And part of this whole process, the place I go, my flight school that I work out of, they require a certain amount of things to be done in order to do solo flights, which I totally get. You have to have everything marked on your map. You've got to have entire flight planner things filled out. You've got to have performance data cards filled out. You've got to have, let's see, I have several of these. You've got to have, this would be my flight plan, international flight plan. This is just a list of all the documentation, everything I have to have. So I got to get all that done. There's a lot of information in all that. I have already marked everything on my map, so I don't have to worry about doing that at this point. That's already done. So I can pretty much set this sucker aside. This is your sectional, which, you know, if you guys want me to answer any questions on the sectional, I can obviously tell you about it, and I can literally show you on the map itself. I've got a chart supplement. It's out of date. See, it's dated 10 September 2020. So officially, I cannot use this as my final reference for the information that I'm getting. However, it is really nice to use. I can go onto the FAA website, and I probably will, to verify some of this information, especially for Columbus, which is where I'm going. My airport that I fly out of, I'm not really worried about, because I know it very well. None of that's really changed. So, all right. So what I've done already, and I did this this morning before I went to work. I've got most of, if you guys can see it, I've got pretty much all my waypoints filled out. The distance is to and remaining from each of those waypoints. I have my altitude and, true heading and altitude already filled out. Now I just got to fill in all this and all this. So lots to fill out. Some of that's going to require me using this old-fashioned E6B. Some of this is going to require me to look up information on my tablet to pull up things like current weather forecasts and of that nature. I won't be able to do everything tonight because some things I have to wait till pretty much the not last minute, but 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour before to get. And that's like, current temperatures and winds. Predicted winds, obviously I can pull those up, which is just fine. And we'll do that. And they probably won't change very much over the course. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to start off with doing finishing out my planned true airspeed, which right now I'm planning. What is this? Oh, you know what? I bet you this lead's almost out. The only thing about mechanical pencils, run out of lead pretty fast, especially when you're filling these things out. There we go. All right, cool. So I'm planning 100 knots as my true airspeed. So I'm just filling in these blocks. And if you look, you probably can't really see very well, but you have your true airspeed, temperature, predicted winds, and velocity, and then your wind correction angle. So what I'm going to do right now, which I can't really show you guys, but I'm going to go to aviation weather. Phone just buzzed. Oh, aviation weather. You guys can go here too if you want. .gov. And I'm going to pull up the GFA tool, which is just a graphical tool. And I'm going to look at about, let's see, 18 hours from now. What would that be? That's too far. 12, about 14 hours from now. Yep, that's basically what I want. And I'm going to zoom in. I know you guys can't see this, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm going to look at the winds and see what I'm looking at here, which is, all right. So flying down there, going 5,500 feet. So basically, I'm going to get a dead easterly winds at, looks like 15 knots. Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Definitely. And if I look, yeah, east right there, and then, yeah, pretty much east all the way through. So I could actually, let's see what the TAF's saying at Columbus. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so I'm looking at the weather, and it looks like it's going to be wrong numbers. Hey, what's going on? Basically east at 15 knots. But let's pull up while I'm at it. Let's see what this flight planner that I use says. See if it gives me anything different. But I'm pretty sure exactly what I'm talking about is exactly what's going to happen. Pretty sure. All right, so this in raw data here. Oh, shoot. Direct. This is going to be for tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. All right, let's pull. I know you guys can't see this, and I'm sorry. All right, so it looks like winds will be 114 at 13 when I'm up at cruising, which is pretty much what I was looking at. So we'll go off that 114 at 13. That's what we'll use for this little calculation. Awesome, wrong numbers. I'm glad you've branched into VFR. VFR is a lot of fun to fly. Popcorn, great snack. Okay. So my true course is 115. However, with magnetic variation, we're looking at a magnetic course of 19. So on the back of this little sucker, you have a basically instructions on how to use this. Basically what I do is I'll set the wind direction, which I know is given in true. If it's written, it's true. Okay, that's how you remember that. If it's written, it's true. So yeah, sorry, there's a dog right there. So true is 14. So I'm going to put the wind direction under true index to 114. Then I'm going to mark the wind velocity. So the wind velocity up from center point was 13. So I really need a, here's my, I had a expo marker. Always keep an expo marker in your flight bag. Anyway, all right, so 113 right there. I don't know if you guys see that little blue dot. What plane would be flying? I'll be flying the Cherokee Warrior 2, Piper Cherokee Warrior 2, which is technically the PA-28 Alpha-161. If you care to know, you can even bring up the manual. Okay. All right, so I've got that set. So once you have the wind velocity marked up from the center, it says set true course under true index. So my true course, remember, if you remember, was 115. So I'm going to set it to 115. So what I basically get is almost a direct headwind. So slide wind velocity marked to true airspeed. All right, so I want to be 100 knots true airspeed. So I'm looking at my ground speed of being about 87 knots. And so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put this into my flight plan. Right under here is GS, ground speed. So I'll put 87 knots there, 87 knots there, 87 knots there, 87 there, 87 there. Then it switches. It switches from, because right here is where I flip around to the airport I'm going to, going back, which means I'll have a tailwind. So what does that mean? It means you got to do this all over again. All right, so winds 114 at 13, right? So I'll put that in here, marking it, little blue dot. Then I'll set the true course under true index. So my true course is 295. And now if you look, it's flipped around to the bottom half. And if I say then I say, okay, set true, yep, slide wind velocity mark true airspeed. So 100 knots. Okay. So it looks like I'll be coming back at about 113 knots. I like that. I like that. So I'm going to put that in here. Now, I basically have, yeah, ground speed 113. So I basically have my wind correction angle. So my true course is 115, right? But I have a magnetic variation of +4 because I'm in the westerly side, +4 on the line. And I can show you guys that on my map. Hold on. Let's find it. There it is. This dotted line, and if you look really close right there, it says 4 degrees west. So west is best. That means you add. East is least, which means you subtract. That's how you remember that. So if it's west, you add. East, you subtract. So what I'm doing, oh, let me say, go ahead and put this out there. I am not a flight instructor. Do not use what I'm talking about in real life aviation. I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just explaining how I go through the process. So please, please, please don't take me as instructing you on how to do and how to fly. And even though I'm doing this for real life, this is not instruction. Okay. Anyway, now that I've said that, we'll be all right. Okay. Disclaimers, man. You got to do it. Otherwise, lawsuits. So my predicted direction of wind, which will go under this column right here, is 114 at 13 knots. So I'm going to put that during my first hour of flight. And then I'm going to go and look back at my graphical and see if it changes at all. Looks like it may change just a little bit. So let's check it out. Come on, load. Why are you not loading? Why aren't they loading? Okay, my wind barbs aren't loading. I'll come back to that in a second. Aviation Geek, what's going on? Departure will be Unicom. Arrival. So technically my departure and arrival is the same airport, but I'll be stopping at another airport, which is a controlled airport, and doing some landings there. So there will be ATC there. I'm going to get flight following, so I'll contact a local approach radar services close by to grab that. Boy, what you eating? Okay, it's not wanting to work, so I'm going to reload this. You're just not going to load for me. That's great. Of course, all this is subject to change when I get my weather brief tomorrow morning. Real. Oh yeah, a lot more planning in real life than in The Sims. Yes, because in real life, it's life or death. So yes, there's a lot more planning. I need this to freaking work. I don't understand why it's not. Maybe the service went down. Map options. Come on. Why am I not seeing the barbs? What is going on with this thing, man? All right, well, I'll use this. All right, we're looking at 6,000 feet. 12 hours. Man, it does not want to load lower level. Whatever. Okay, whatever. What time is liftoff? I'll be probably departing. Excuse me. I'll probably be departing at about 8:45 Eastern time. What's up, creamers? Actually, I can give you guys the that will be AM. Sorry, that will be my tail number. So if you guys want to pop on at about probably 9 o'clock Eastern and type that into FlightAware, you'll be able to follow me along. Little thing there, because we have AGSB out, so you actually be able to track us. Anyway, okay, so we'll continue on. These are all subject to change based on the weather brief tomorrow. We're back in the AM. I won't be live streaming it now. So departure is Kilo Alpha Lima X-ray. Kilo Alpha Lima X-ray. Yeah, I'll be recording. Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, but somebody special happened to have gotten over an hour-long recording of my last flight. Yep. Over an hour long. And guess who that was? Flight Club. Flight Club got access to over an hour-long video. Pays to be part of Flight Club. All right. I'll be a P28 Alpha, or it's PA28, but in ICAO it's P28 Alpha. It's a Cherokee Warrior 2. All right. What was I doing? Temperature. I need temperature. I need to get my temperature. Ooh, but before that, let's do the wind correction angle. So, wind correction angle. Coming back, I'll have a wind correction angle of, looks like 1 degree to the right and going 1 degree to the left. It is Piper, yeah. So Piper, Cherokee, Warrior 3, or Warrior 2. That's, we're Star Flyer, what's going on? So I'm going to be left 1 degree. Coming back, I'm going to be right 1 degree. So, oh yeah, flying in the morning is usually the calmest, except overnight. Overnight is a really calm time to fly. The Valditch, hi, what's going on? It's going well, man. All right, so my magnetic heading. So 115 plus 4 equals 119, right? So 119 by magnetic heading. But remember, I have a wind correction angle. And that is 1 degree to the left. Okay? Since it's 1 degree to the left, I'm going to subtract. So 119 minus 1 is 118. So my actual magnetic heading is going to be 118 going there. Coming back, my course is 295. True course is 295. Plus 4 for magnetic, so 299. Minus, 299 plus 1 for my correction angle for my wind, 300. All right, last thing on the left side here, got to get my temperature. So let's look at the temps. The temps. Don't have permission. What are you talking about? This thing is losing its mind. I look like Tom Hanks. No, I've not seen the movie Terminal. Some people say I look like Ben Shapiro. All right, let's see. Aviationweather.gov. Tools, GFA. TAFs, that looks good. All right, we're looking at $12 hours from now. Nope, 13 hours from now. Let's see. What are my temps here? What are my temps? Let me actually bring up my actual TAFs here. All right, Montgomery is giving me a temperature of, it doesn't actually have a temperature on this TAF. Of course it doesn't. Duh. So let's look like weather.com. This is subject to change, of course. This is not an official weather brief. I'm just prepping myself in the morning so I don't have to do crazy calculations. look at my location here. Phone's just buzzing off the hook. All right, hourly. 8 a.m. we're looking at about 59 degrees Fahrenheit, which it's probably going to be pretty accurate since we're within 12 hours. And then at 9 a.m. it's going to be 63. So okay, cool. So left side's done for now. Gonna change in the morning. Whoa, lots of watch 75 he does. Does not look like Tom Hanks. Oh gosh. Argument in the chat about what celebrity I look like, I guess. All right. Whatever. Okay. I've lost track of that. I've lost my train of thought. Thank you guys. You've completely blown me out of the water. All right. So I need to calculate my estimate. It's been a long week, guys. Oh man. So when I do this, I can't. Anyway, I don't think I do, but whatever. Estimated time of arrival. So you got to get calculations about how long it's going to take me to get between all the different points. Okay. So let's do that. So I'm estimating my true airspeed to be 100, ground speed to be 87. Okay. So in order to cover a certain amount of distance, right, you have to be going a certain amount of your speed. Okay. Your true airspeed is not what you use when you're doing your calculations. It's your ground speed. Okay. Because if you use your true airspeed, it's going to show you going faster than you actually are going to end up being. So you got to use your ground speed. So I know this has a little thing. It says set miles per hour to that little arrow, right? And that's that little arrow. Okay. And then it says equal, distance is the outer and time is the inner. Distance is the outer, time is the inner. So I set that to 87 knots. Okay. Then I look at the distance. So distance 11.8, which is basically 12. But I can look really close. 11.8. Right there, 11.8. And I go down and see what the time is. So 11.8 looks like it's going to be a minute. Is that right? A minute 30? Let me check that. Before I continue, let me check and see if that's going to make sense. Pretty sure that's correct, but I'm going to check anyway because I don't want to make a mistake. That is for sure. All right, let's see here. Leg time, 7 minutes and something seconds. Oh, you know what? Okay, I was looking at that wrong. Okay. So set 87. Speed is there. Distance 11.8. I don't see how they're getting 7 minutes. I'm getting more like 8 minutes. 8 minutes and like 10 seconds. I'm going to put in 8 minutes. Sorry, I'm going to put in 8 minutes. All right, how do I like Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? I really enjoy it for general aviation. I think there's still a lot of glitches that need to be fixed, though. All right, so 14, 9.5 minutes. Let's see, 9.3. Looking at 6.25. 12. Again, 8.25 minutes. Nope, no terrain to worry about. It's pretty flat in my area. Just buildings when I get to Columbus. 87. 10. That's going to be just under 7 minutes. It's a rental, yes. It is a rental. All right. Now, on the way back, I have a ground speed of 113 knots. So that changes the game just a little bit. 113. So now I look at it and go, okay, 9.9. Distance is 9.9. So I'm looking at 9.9. There it is. So 5 minutes. And that looks about right. That looks about right. And then 12, we're looking at 6.5. 9.3. 5 minutes. And I'm not being very specific, right? I'm not being so specific with seconds, but I'm generally keeping it as close as I can to a full number. And there's going to be some variations, right? You're never going to get it perfect, but you can get a really good estimate. This is not going to give you the seconds, really. I mean, you can get some seconds in here, but you're not going to get it perfect. This is for general calculations. This is going to give you everything perfectly. To do that, you have to do math. I'm not going to do math because that would take me literally hours. You do have electronic E6Bs that will do all the math for you, and that's obviously very useful. All right, 14, 7.5 minutes. Okay. Now, here's what sucks. Okay. Here's what really sucks. I'm not even done with this page yet. But on my flight plan, I have all the waypoints from and then like to and then from, but then it ends with missing one waypoint. So you know what that means? I have to take this sheet and fill out just this top line all the way across. It's really annoying because now I have to have both of these with me. Y'all be quiet. Dogs. What? Foolishness. I took my flight school years ago, but ended up getting in trouble legally, and I cannot finish my pilot's license. I'm so upset about it. Anyways, I'm happy to see younger people get out there in the sky. Well, I'm sorry that you got into some legal trouble and weren't able to finish it, man. I am sorry to see that. All right, crew course 295. Altitude. Let's see. This is going to be Davil to KALX. Okay. Altitude 4,500. Wind direction. Temperature. It's 1. Distance 11.8. Ground speed 113. Estimated time probably 7 minutes. Let's see. Actually, 6 minutes. Thanks. All right, 006. Okay, great. So now we've got that done. Now we've got to calculate our fuel usage. More paperwork and math. I love it. But before I do that, I've got to do my weight and balance, because my weight and balance is going to affect my fuel usage. It's going to affect, it's just, you have to do your weight and balance before you can get your fuel usage, because it determines your power. Density altitude determines your power level. I mean, there's so many variations. Yes, weight and balance time, guys. It is weight and balance time, because I got to do that for my fuel usage. Because guess what? Fuel usage is different from the beginning to the end. No, I'm not going to take my dogs with me. No, not yet. Maybe once I actually get my actual license, and then I'll fly really low so it doesn't hurt their ears, you know. Anyway. Let's see. Is it fun? Is it fun? Is it fun? It's just joyous, man. It's a great time. We got to bring out the POH. Pilot Operating Handbook. Because we've got to get the weight in arms and do all these graph calculations and stuff. It's so much fun. All right. You want to see the dog? All right, let's see if I can get the dogs over here. Captain, Misha, come here. Come here. Hey, buddy. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. Captain, say hi. That's my dog. There's another dog here. It's a friend of mine's. All right, go, go, go. All right. Hey, yeah, hey, stop it. Chill. You're going to start getting roughy. I don't want them to get rough while I'm trying to do this. All right, so I'm going to pull. I'm flying to Columbus, Georgia tomorrow. I'm in Alabama. All right, empty weight is 1,448.6 pounds. The arm from the datum is 87.73 inches. My moment in pounds for the empty weight is 127 and 89.8. Okay, that's that first line. Now that is what's given to me, right? Now I've got to go through and actually check stuff. Okay, so pilot in front, passenger. I weigh 160 pounds, so that's only going to be in there. I don't have anybody else with me, so 160. Arm for that is 27, 80.5, not 27. 80.5. Right now I'm just filling out stuff, and then I'm going to have to calculate things. Okay. Rear passenger, I'll have my bag there. So my bag's about 10 pounds. I'm going to put 10 in there. And that's 118.1. Baggage, they have some stuff that sits in the back, like the actual POH. This is just a copy of it. Some cleaning supplies, some extra oil just in case. Chop blocks, stuff like that. That's all in all, it weighs about 10 pounds as well. So we'll put that in there. And that's going to be a 142.8 on the arm. All right. So now I've got to take all these columns, add them up, and multiply across. And I don't do that in my head or on paper. Can I? Sure. Will I? No. Why? Because I don't want to spend 3 hours doing this. I already spent enough time doing it anyway. All right. So 1,448.6. All right, I got that. What am I doing that for? 160, which is the weight of me, 160 pounds, times the arm from the datum. So how far from the datum, which happens to be just in front of the propeller, to me is 80.5. Right there. So that's my moment. 12,880. That's my moment. Okay. Do the same for rear pack, passenger bags, you do all of that, right? Now, because I am somewhat math inclined, I know my weight's 10, and my arm is 118.1. So if I'm multiplying 10 times 118.1, I know I just moved the decimal one, right? Because it's in the tenths place in the decimal. I just remove the decimal, and then you got your weight. So really easy that way. Cool. So now I can check my zero fuel weight. No fuel in the aircraft. How much am I going to weigh? My no fuel weight is going to be 1,628.6. Cool. That's my empty fuel weight. Awesome, right? Now what's my moment? Correct. Zero fuel weight is everything but no fuel. That's the whole point. So now I'm going to take all the moments, add them together. That equals 1,420,578.8. Okay, my fuel. So here's a really cool thing about fuel. I know my aircraft has a fuel tank that has fuel tanks that are 50 gallons. Okay, but only usable fuel of 48. So you use usable fuel. Okay, so did you know that regular aviation gas weighs 6 pounds per gallon? That's it, 6 pounds per gallon. So you can take 6 times whatever gallons, you got your fuel weight. It's fantastic. It's fan-freaking-tastic. So you go 6 times 48. What do you know? You get 288. 288 pounds of fuel because I am flying with full tanks. I'm flying with full freaking tanks. Okay. I'm flying with full tanks. All right. The fuel arm is 95. So that's a moment of 27,360. Can you make some Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 videos? I already have made some. I plan on making more as time goes by. Excuse me. Okay. So now I can look at how much am I going to weigh on the ramp. $1,916.6. Okay. That's how much I'll weigh on the ramp. My moment is going to be 169,938.8. Okay. Taxi run up. How much fuel am I going to use on taxi run up? Anybody guess? Hint. Using my taxiing and run up takes me approximately 15 minutes. How much fuel will I use in 15 minutes at low RPMs? Now the question is, now it's there, but I'll be at high RPMs on the run up. So how do you calculate that? You freaking guesstimate. That's how much you can. So it burns 8 gallons per hour at 65% power. Okay. So you can basically guesstimate 15 minutes or so, you'll probably end up burning about 0.2 or 0.3 gallons. So how are you going to work with that? Yeah. All right, get clapped. See ya. So I'm going to say I'm going to use, just for safety's sake, half a gallon of fuel. That's what I do. I always go high, right? Because if I calculate high, then I know I'm going to have enough fuel. Okay. So I'm going to say half an hour. That's half a gallon. Or sorry, half an hour, which means 8 gallons. Or 4 gallons. Each hour is 8 gallons, approximately half it, 4 gallons of fuel. Is that right? Yeah, 4 gallons of fuel. That doesn't sound right. 8 gallons per hour, half an hour, 4 gallons. Yeah, that's right. Man, I'm starting to make myself trip out. 4 times 6 is 24 pounds. 24 pounds, 95, 2280. And I'm going to subtract that from those two, So 1916.6 minus 24. So 1892.6 and 169.938.8 minus 2260. So 167,678.8. 2 gallons would be a quarter hour, yes, approximately. But I always go on the safe side, so I'm just doing half an hour. So 4 gallons. Okay. So what is my final center of gravity? Okay. All of this is working out to figure out what my center of gravity is, because I got to make sure I'm not going to be overweight and my center of gravity is within limits. That's what I'm looking for. So what is my center of gravity location? Well, if my moment is 167,678.8 and my weight is 1892.6, what I do is I take the moment 167,678.8, divide it by my weight, take off weight. I'm going to get my center of gravity. Okay. And there it is right there, 88.597. So I'm going to round it up to 88.60. Okay. And then I grab my CG range and weight graph in my pilot operation handbook, and I look for the weight I'm going to be taking off, which is 1892. It's about 1,900 pounds. This line right here. Okay. One right where it said, right below it says utility category. This one. Then I look at my center of gravity, which is 88.6. So 88.6 is about right there. So right in the middle. Go up. I'm in normal category within range. So now that I've done that, am I in range? Yes. Yes, I am. But it's important because later I'm going to calculate what my CG is going to end up being. Right now I have what it is now. Later I actually have to calculate what it's going to be to make sure, 2 hours in the future or hour and a half in the future when I'm about to land, what is my center of gravity then? Is it within limits then? Because if it's not, guess what? You're not supposed to fly it. So more math to come. Woo! Fantastic. All right, so now I need to grab airfield data right here. To do that, I'm going to pull up my chart supplement southeast. I'm going to pull up my departure, which is in Alabama. Here it is right here. This has everything you need to know about your airport. So, airport elevation, 686 feet. Perfect. My outside air temperature will be 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Important to note that, because a lot of people use Celsius, some people use Fahrenheit. You got to make sure you note it, right? All right. Pressure, altitude, density, altitude. I don't know that yet. I'll get that in a moment. Wind direction and speed. Don't know that. I'll know that in the morning. Runway length. I can pull that right here. The runway length is 5,422. So runway, and that's runway 1836. It's 5,442 feet. And that's important. Crosswind, headwind. I don't know that yet. I'll know that in the morning. Great. Well, I do know crosswind I knew the headwind on the way there. But I don't know that in the morning. We'll have to, again, some of this won't be completed until the morning because things can change. All right, so now I'm going to go to Georgia, since I'm flying from Alabama to Georgia. I'm going to look up my arrival airport. Which is Columbus. There it is. And I'm going to kind of guesstimate a little bit on what runway we're going to actually end up using. I think the NOTAM said something about one of the runways being used for something. But anyway, runway 6 and 24, and runway 13 and 31. Those are the two runways. The longest one is 6 and 24. That's probably what I'll end up on, but it could change. We'll see. So I'm going to put that in there, though. Length, 6,997 feet. Perfect. Plenty of runway. Okay. Field elevation, 397. Great. All right. Now, I've got to figure out my pressure altitude, density altitude. I'm yawning too much, man. I need to get some sleep. Okay. Sleep is important. So get my pressure altitude. I've got to take my altimeter. Do you want some of this? You're not getting any of it. The dog went for popcorn. Not getting popcorn. Pressure altitude and density altitude, I have to know the altimeter. I won't know that until the morning. Okay? I can guesstimate. I can estimate. I really won't know until the morning. But because of the temperature, okay, and the weather that I've looked up, I know that it's going to be a very low density altitude. In fact, I almost guarantee you it's going to be a negative density altitude. So generally, I will take this, especially in the wintertime, which I'm getting into. Density altitude is always going to be pretty low in general, unless it gets hot. So I know that I can go ahead and pretty much say it's going to be 0 density altitude. Again, this is a guesstimation just to help me out on my information, because I'll do all this now, the ground roll distance, over 50 feet obstacle, takeoff distance, all that. I'm going to do all that now so that tomorrow morning when I go in, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 0 density altitude, please stop messing with it. I'll know that I won't have to do these calculations again. But if I'm wrong, I will, and I'll have to do them anyway, right? So I can go ahead and at least guesstimate some, hopefully in getting it right. If I get it wrong, I have to change it in the morning. It is what it is. Anyway. All right, so let's pull up some charts here. Okay. Take off performance charts. Now look at this. And it says density altitude is 0. And I want to take off 0 flaps and rotation speed of 65 knots. Or 65 miles per hour, sorry. 65 miles per hour. It gives me a takeoff distance or ground roll distance of 1,100 feet. Okay. Over 50-foot obstacle, though, it gives me 2,200. That's where I'm going to and from. Okay. Then I've got to go through all this. I'll get to all the rest of them: line, climb performance, engine performance, cruise performance, range, blah, blah, blah. I'll get to all that. Landing performance. Get my landing roll. Okay, so 0, looking about 600 feet in my ground roll. Total distance, so in the air, then touchdown, then roll. Looking at 1125. So plenty of distance at the airports I'm going to be landing at. Great. All right, so usable fuel, 48 gallons. Okay, let's look at power settings here. Cruise performance. Okay, let's see. Statute miles. We're doing ours in nautical miles. But let's see here. Range, gross weight, best power, best economy. We will do best power because I want to get there fast. Crazy Fusion, what's going on, man? All right, so on this graph, you can see that you have your different density altitudes, the range in which you'll make it, and the power setting on there, okay? That's going to change how fast you go, okay? If I'm looking for a true airspeed of 100 knots, this graph on where my thumb is will show me what power setting I can basically put it at. All right, bro. Okay. So power setting can basically be at about 57%. Okay. About 57%, could be about 58% of my power will actually get me 100 knots. But I'm just going to be on the safe side, again, safe side, and do 60%. So 60%, okay. Now I'm going to look at this. Yes, it is this complicated to fly from point A to point B. You got to do all the calculations, man. That way, when you fly, you're not trying to do it in the cockpit when something changes, okay? You got to know how far you can go. You got to know how much gallons of fuel you have. You got to know what power setting you need to use. You got to know all that, man. You got to know all of it. All right, so we're going to look at density altitude 0, and we're looking for about, with 40-minute reserves, 650, yeah, about 650 statute miles. No, it's nothing like the flight sim. Now, blow your mind. There are plenty of planners out there that'll do all this stuff for you. You just have to enter all the stuff about the aircraft beforehand. I am learning to do it on paper intentionally because what if your phone dies? What if your iPad dies? What if your computer dies? What if it just up and decides to quit all of a sudden? You've got to rely on your paper and your head. So I'm learning to do it this way. I already learned to do it. Now I'm just doing it this way so it becomes instinctive practice, repetition. But there are tools out there that you can do, and it's, you can be done in 15, 20 minutes, right? That's what professionals use all the freaking time. But I, on the other hand, am doing it this way so that I know how to do it in case I do lose my technology. All right. 650 statute miles is approximately going to be my range. You mean this thing? I've already been using it, man. Already been using it. All right, cruising altitude, 5,500. Power setting, 60%. Is that right? Sorry, power setting, 2,300 RPMs. And then 60% there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Rate of climb. So now we got to go to climb here. Climb performance, full power, gross weight, 2,300 is still higher. Density altitude 0, we're looking at about 600 feet a climb. I'm going to only do about 500 feet and keep some speed up. So we'll do 500 feet per minute. How long can I fly? Okay, well, what's my distance? What's my total distance? I didn't calculate that yet. I'll get that in a second. Fuel burn as well, so I have to do that as well. Okay, good idea. Words from my physics teacher. Shortcuts should only be used when they are not necessary. Yeah. What's up, Lester? PJ, crashing the party. How you doing? Max Bloom, what's going on? We're 1 hour into the stream, and as you guys see, there's a lot to do when you're doing your flight planning. Okay. What's it doing? Oh, time. Let's calculate first 650 statute miles to nautical miles. To do that, I'm going to trust the E6B. I'll put it on, there's a statute mile line and there's a nautical mile line, okay? So I want to calculate nautical miles. I want to know how many nautical miles. So do that. I'll set it there, and then I'll say, okay, distance, 650 statute miles. That's going to be 561 nautical miles. Let's see how close I am. Let's pull up a calculator online. Let's see. Ooh, 564. Look at that. Look how close I was with that, man. Look how close I was with that. Look how close I was with that. Awesome, Lester. I hope you make it, man. I hope you live your dream. It took me over 10 years to get to where I am now. So it may take some time, but you can do it. All right, so let's figure out time or endurance. Okay, so I know I can fly 564 nautical miles or 650 statute miles, right? We'll do nautical miles. How long can I fly this aircraft? Okay. I'm burning 8 gallons per hour, approximately, of fuel. So I set my gallons an hour to 8. My total gallons will be on the outside, 48. My endurance, 6 hours. Metal rings, guys, metal rings. So 6 hours of endurance, but that does not include your reserve. 45 minutes of reserve is minimum. I like an hour, okay? So, okay, I said 45 reserve is minimum. That's not true. 30-minute reserve is minimum by FAA regulations in the day. At night, it's 45. Me, I want an hour. That's just what I want. That's me. That's my personal minimums. That's what I'm doing, okay? So my endurance, I'm going to say is 5 hours plus 1 hour reserve. Okay, that's me. That's my personal minimums. That is not legality. Personal minimums. All right, let's see. Micah taught me X-Plane 11 cold dart startup in the 14. I would love to be a commercial airline pilot when I get older. Air Force for hours. Do it, man. Plan to start your PPL in the upcoming summer and then finish my last year of high school, then go to university for my full commercial. Do it. Can you get an A350 in X-Plane? Yes, I think so. I think you can. Yes, you can. You can. Yes, you can. Flight Factor has one. I think it's Flight Factor. Yeah, but I know there's an A350 in there. All right. Anyway, putting this away now. Pulling back out my flight planner. Now I got to calculate all this stuff up. Add it all up. All right, let's do this. Calculator 11.8 plus 14 plus 9.3 plus 12 plus 9.9 times 2, 114 nautical miles. So my total distance is 114 nautical miles. My fuel burn. Now I've got to calculate my fuel burn. Here's what's crazy about this. Fuel burn, I have to do it by waypoint. Okay, so I have to take this sucker again and do this all over again, but for each individual waypoint. People don't realize how much stuff you have to do to plan a freaking flight. They really don't. All right, so all right, set gallon an hour, and we're looking at 8 gallons an hour, and we're going to be using, let's see, 8 minutes. So 8 minutes will be 1.5 gallons. Let's make sure that's correct. Yep. 1.5 gallons. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so fuel used 1.5. Remaining, I have 48 usable, so 48 minus 1.5 is 46.5. Good job. All right. Then do the next waypoint. 9 minutes. Okay. 9 minutes. That's did I do that right? Did I do that right? Hold on. I don't know if I'm doing that right. 1 second. Yep. Distance is outer. Our total gallons is outer. Time is inner. Oh. So my time, 9 minutes. So it's actually 1 gallon. It's actually just 1 gallon used. And that makes about sense, yeah. I'm going to double check that before I go any further with my, oops, no, go away. Yep. All right. But that's also what I'm taking off. This could be higher. I'm going to say 1.5. I'll keep it like I had it. All right. Next is 9 minutes. 1.2 gallons used. So I'm going to grab my calculator here. 46.5 minus 1.2. 45.3. 6.8 gallons. Okay, 8 again. 1.1. 43.4. I'm just going down, filling this out. So I'm sorry if this is boring part. All right, 7.9. 42.5. 5. 0.6. 1.8. 6. 0.8. 41. 5. 0.7. 40.3. 8. 39.2. Okay, and then there's one more on this other page. 6.8. $38.4 be how much I have fuel left. But that's not going to be how much fuel I actually use or have left, because I'm going to do some pattern work in Columbus. And that's probably going to be about at least 4 gallons, if not a little bit more. But I'm just doing, if I went there, turned around and came back, that's how much I would use. Do you think X-Plane VATSIM has helped with ground school or getting the controls down? Yeah, probably. 1 second, guys. Dogs are getting a little rambunctious. All right, so how much fuel did I actually use? About 9.6 gallons. So I know I used about 9.6 gallons. I'm going to round up and just say 10 gallons. Okay, I'll leave about 38 gallons left. Plenty of fuel. All right, time in the air. Let's go ahead and calculate that. $68 minutes. So that's going to be 1 hour and 8 minutes. Okay, 1 hour and 8 minutes, about flying time there and back. But it's going to be about 1.5 hours because I'm going to do some pattern work when I get to the other airport. So I'm looking at about 1.5 hours, about 10 gallons of fuel. It's probably about right. It looks pretty good to me. I've got the sheet as filled out as I can until the morning with my performance data card. So that's good. Now I've got to go in here and do some other work. Always more work to do. Never have enough work. Okay. I do have a waypoint on here that is actually a VOR waypoint, which means I'm intersecting 2 different VORs to get the waypoint. So what I have to do, go back to my map here. I've got to figure out exactly, because I planned this out and I don't remember exactly what the radials were. So now I've got to do this again and do the radials. So freaking do, here we go. Yes, that is all included in the fuel burn. So the way you do my fuel burn is based off of, so I have my power setting, right? That's what my power setting is going to be, period. Okay, based off true airspeed. My true airspeed is going to be 100 knots no matter what I got. So whether it's headwind, tailwind, it's going to be 100 knots true airspeed of my aircraft flying through the air. Ground speed will vary. But then I take that, how long will it take me from get point A to B? Then I go, okay, how much fuel will I burn during that period of time, right? So power setting will not vary. How much will I burn during this period of time? That's what I did on my E6B, and that's what I calculated. So that's how you get there. Okay. Range VOR. It's right here. Okay, let's see here. Oops. Let's shoot off this radial. All right, so it's going to be the 171 radial from Lagrange. Okay, so all right, so 171. frequency is 15.6. And that'll be from radio. And to Tuskegee, 117.3. To 56-degree radial. I'm sorry, 75-degree radial. From 2 would be 256. You know what? We can do that. Let's do that. 256. 2. All right. Identifier on Lagrange is dot dash dot dot dash dash dot dash dot dash dot. Tuskegee is dash 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 dot dot. Boom. What do I do for a living? I'm an IT network engineer. That's what I do for a living. I'm a techie. All right. Maybe one day I'll do this for a living. We'll see. So I've got that one. That's the only one I have. Oh, it all repeats itself down here. So we'll go ahead and do that again. That'll be reverse sensing, wouldn't it? What's up, Lorima? Lorima? I hope I did that right. Sorry if I didn't. All right. That's not right. There's my dot. Okay. Cool. That's good and set. What did I put in there? 221. All right, I got to pull up this supplement again. Thank you. I think I'll be fine. Onel Rodriguez, thank you. All right, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia. Okay. Let's look at the frequencies here. Tower is 120.1. Ground is on 121.9. And ATIS is 127.75. Okay. Now I'm going to put down here all right, so $125.5. Okay. Noah, what's going on, man? How you doing? Then Montgomery. Okay, I was just getting some approach and departure frequencies of nearby large airports where I'll get my flight following from. So I want to go ahead and get that set up and locked. So I had those frequencies for tomorrow. Georgia. Looking for Columbus again, yes. Okay. Runways. They got two actual runways, 4 different ends. 6 and 24. And 13 and 31. Okay. Probably 624 is what we'll end up landing on. That's the main one. Probably what we'll end up doing. Okay, let's see. I think, honestly, we're getting really close. Getting really close to being done with this. Okay. Put my map away. I'll need this. I still gotta do my flight plan. That's the worst part. Okay. All right. I've got that. Got that. Yep. Weight and balance. Yep. Physical speed. Okay. Pay your flight plan, standard weather brief, current sectional charts, airport diagrams. Okay. Are you nervous when flying solo? I dread doing my first one eventually. I'm nervous when I first take off. After I get in the air, I'm perfectly fine. So anyway, quick segue here. If you guys want to see a special behind the scenes video where you see me the entire flight, no cutting, no editing, anything like that. I mean, there's some editing between different camera views. If you want to see that, I released one on Monday, but it's only for Patreon members, Flight Club members. So to do that, go over to patreon.com/mmflightclub. You can join there. Honestly, it's really cheap. $3 a month. That's it. $3 a month. You access to cool things like that. You know, uncut stuff and of that nature. So anyway, all right. So what was I doing? Weight and balance. Did CG move forward, aft, effects? Okay, so I got to do my start and end CG location. So it starts at 88.6. I burned approximately 10 gallons of fuel. So that's 60 pounds off. 6. Okay. So put that at 1832.6. And then do the calculation real fast. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just doing some calculations. Give me a second. Okay, so CG does move to 82.15, which means it moved forward, which means that it's going to be harder to pull up. All right. Yeah, you got the badge, man. You got the badge. You got the badge of honor. Anybody ever read The Red Badge of Courage? That was a required reading for me when I was a homeschooler. Very interesting book. Very interesting. All right, so now I got to do calculations on maneuvering speeds. Okay, let me get the equation real fast. I don't remember it off the top of my head. I really should get it, though. Okay, so calculate your maneuvering speed. I'll use this blank piece of paper here. I really need like a whiteboard, don't I, to like show you what I'm doing. Anyway, all right, so my maneuvering speed times the square root of my new weight divided by my max gross weight. Okay, so that's what the equation looks like. You guys can see that. Probably can't see it very well. So my new maneuvering speed is equal to what my normal maneuvering speed is, which is 124 miles per hour. I think that's right. 124. Yes, 124. All right. New weight. What was my weight going to be? 1892.6 divided by my max gross, which is 2350. Okay. So I go in here in my handy dandy cell phone calculator. 1,892.6 pounds divided by 2350 equals 0.8053. Okay, I actually round up 0.0854 because it's 536. All right, so 0.8054, round it up. All right, so now I go say, what is the square root of 0.8054? And what I get is 124. It's 0.897. So I take that, times it by my normal maneuvering speed. Equals my new maneuvering speed is 111. 111. Look at that. Look at that. Simple calculation. Doing some math, guys. You got to do math as a pilot, unfortunately. But it is what it is. All right. All right, so my end, what is my end? Well, now I have my performance data card, sorry, over here. My end weight of being 1832.6. So I just do the same calculation. 1832.6 divided by 2350 equals 0.77.9. Take the square root of 0.7789 equals 88.2553 times 124 equals ending of 109. So the lighter you get, the lower your maneuvering speed. You're thinking, how does that make any sense? Right? How does that make any sense? Higher, the lower weight you get, the lower weight you get, the lower you can fly. How does that make any sense for your maneuvering speed? To not bore you to death, basically, it's all about how much weight can be pushed onto the aircraft at a given lift coefficients and the words are escaping me, but basically on the wings, they have a specific amount of pressure that could be forced onto your aircraft, right? And your speed is going to force that amount of force onto it. And the lighter the aircraft is, think of it, okay, I'm trying to think of a better way to explain this. What's the best way to explain this? I'm trying to avoid not getting into a bunch of math and physics. I don't know. What is the best way? Did I already put that? Oh, let me put this in here first. 109. Okay. It's all about, what is that word? Oh my gosh, I want to pound my head into this table. I did learn quite a bit from the ground school. So I'm trying to find this word, guys. Hold on. What word is it? Nope. It is about G-forces, yes. It's not, no. Gosh, dang it. Load factor. You got it. Load factor. Thank you. Golly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Man, okay. It's all about your load factor. What do I mean by load factor? How much your wings can actually load it can take, right? So when you're flying along, right? Let's say this is your wing, okay? Actually, I can grab a piece of paper and show this. All right, so here's your wing. Lift or pressure underneath this wing, okay? So your angle of attack is higher. Let's say it's about like this, okay? This is a bit exaggerated, but you'll get the point. All right, you're flying along just fine, okay? At this speed, traveling at a higher velocity, okay? When this thing becomes lighter, I need less of this to keep me in the air, so I can push it down. What happens when you do that, though? Anybody? Means when you have a lower angle of attack, okay, when you have a lower angle of attack, you actually have a lower amount of load factor you can put on the wing because of the air that's traveling over and under and the amount of pressure that's getting pushed onto the wing, okay? This is a lower pressure or high pressure than this, okay? Because of the air that's traveling over the wing. It's getting, think of it kind of almost like a little buffet, not really, but it's not sitting right on the wing itself, right? Trying to keep it level. So as this angle of attack decreases, okay, the wind hits and goes under, and if I can fly faster, right? So if I increase the speed of my aircraft at this point, I'm actually getting more lift, more G's under this wing, okay? So when I get more weight or lift on these wings, all of a sudden, I'm increasing my load factor. My aircraft can only take so much load factor before it breaks apart. Snap. There goes my wing. So maneuvering speed is all about load factor on your wings. And when you increase weight, you actually get a higher maneuvering speed because the angle of attack on your wings versus your speed increases. Okay? All right. Man. Okay. There's a great article. I should probably link it, but you guys can look it up. That's how I learned about why I changed a while ago. Sorry, I'm just reading some text messages. Give me a second, guys. Okay. All right, so what was I doing? Oh, now I got to calculate best glide speed. Oh, also, by the way, another little thing about this. Okay, what happens if your wing's like this, right? And you're traveling, I don't know, 60 miles per hour? Stall, right? Depends on the aircraft, but basically a stall. What happens when you go into a stall? You lose all lift, right? Your load factor goes down. Maybe that's a little better explanation. When you go into a stall, you lose all load factor. It's 0 now. Okay. But if you're going really fast, like this, you have a lot of load factor on your wings. Physics, man. Blow your freaking mind sometimes. Okay. Best glide speed. Let me get that. Let me get some popcorn first. I haven't even had dinner. I'm doing this for you. Okay. Same calculations, but now best glide speed. Let me pull up my POH. Let's find out my best glide speed, shall we? I know what it is about 2,000 pounds. It's 80, but let's find out what this actually says for max gross. Where is the graph here? Angled bank, glide performance. Here we go. This is the altitude 0. Statute miles. Okay. 2325. We're looking at 85. Okay. So 85 miles per hour is the covered airspeed. 85 miles per hour. It's gross weight. Okay. So my glide speed is equal to 85 times the square root 1892.6 divided by 2350. So my glide speed equals 85 times 0.8054. Let me do that. Equals 68. 68. That's my best glide speed. So look at that. So my best glide start 68.5. Okay, miles per hour. Interesting. All right, best glide speed at the end. It's going to change. It's going to change. All right. Oh, you know what? That's not right. 76. I didn't do square root. No, that seemed really low. 76 miles per hour. Okay, that's more like it. That's more like it. All right, so let's do, what was it? 1832.6 divided by 2350, 0.7798 times, oops, square root 0.7798, 0.8830 times 85 equals 75. So I'll start with 76, end with 75. That's it. All right. Christian, what's going on? Haven't been here a while playing with other games like a monkey recent. Playing with a monkey? I'm confused. Okay. Flight computers are awesome. Yes. All right. So I've got this pretty much ready to go. All right. Today's date is the 5th. Tomorrow will be the 6th. Okay. FIFA. FIFA's pretty fun. Quite a lot of games. Okay. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking. I was like, playing like a monkey. That doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. So I've now completed 4 pieces of paper. Oh, man. Lots of text messages, guys. I apologize. All right. Have you given any thought to doing a pre-training VATSIM training tut? What? I'm confused. Your question, tax wax. Could you maybe reword it somewhat? All right, so now I got to fill out this international flight plan. Okay, so aircraft identification. November 6224 Juliet. Flight rules, VFR. Type of flight, general aviation. It's G. Number 01. Type aircraft, Papa 28 Alpha. It's actually a PA-28, but I wonder if it actually shows that. Yeah. Notice here it says PA-28, right? But guess what? ICAO, guess what it says? P-28A. They're weird, man. They're weird. Whatever. Wake, turbulence category, light. Equipment. Oh, Lord. That I'm going to have to get tomorrow because I got to look at the aircraft and see exactly what equipment it is. Departure aerodome, Kilo, Alpha, Lima, X-ray. Approximate time of departure, 07:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern. Plus 6 is 2:45. Yeah, so 14:45. Okay, cruising speed, 100 knots. Level, 5,500. Route, going to Kilo, Charlie, Sierra, Golf. Back, when is the flight? Tomorrow morning. Destination aerodome is actually Kilo Alpha Lima X-ray, because if you're doing to and from, you put the destination and arrival at the same airport. If I was doing 2 flights, let's say when I was doing one in the morning and one in the afternoon, 2 separate flight plans. Okay. Total estimated time. I'm gonna be on the safe side here. I could say an hour and a half, and that's probably what it's going to end up being. I'm going to be on the safe side and say an hour and 45 minutes, because if you don't report in, I want to say it's 15 minutes, maybe it's half an hour, 15 minutes or half an hour, and they start throwing people out there to try to find you. So best to be on the safe side. So alternate Kilo Alpha Uniform Oscar, second alternate Kilo Lima Golf Charlie. Okay, other information, I have to put that in tomorrow. That's about with the equipment code. Endurance, I'll have 6 hours and 0 minutes of fuel on board, persons on board, 1 emergency radio. I want to say it's going to be let me look at that up real fast. Let me look this up real fast. I want to see. There it is. I was looking for the appendix here so I can actually read, and looking for block 19R. Hmm. 19R radio crystal FHF. Okay, so it's that. Oh, wait. Not available. Oopsies. So it's just you that I crossed out. Okay, that's why I wanted to find out. That's it. I am worried about my rate of climb, man. I know how it's faster when you don't have someone else in your aircraft. I remember that. Okay. Okay, that's done, that's done. No dinghies. Aircraft markings. It's white with brown stripes. No remarks. Pilot in command is me. Okay. That's complete, guys. So I've completed my international flight plan, cross-country planning and documents checklist, performance data card as much as I can until I get the weather in the morning. And my entire flight planner is complete as well. Last thing I do, go in here and I'll highlight a couple of things so I know it. So yeah, cool deal. Well, guys, I am now an hour and 49 minutes into this, and I already had some of it planned out. So you can see, normally it takes me about 3 hours from start to finish to plan a flight on paper. So yeah, lots of work here to get everything ready. Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing a little bit more planning, a little bit more writing and calculating as I get the most up-to-date weather, and then I'll fly. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll enjoy it. It'll of course be recorded, and I'll be making a video about it. But anyway, guys, I'm getting a phone call, so I gotta go. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys later. Have a good one.